All right, let's go again. We're back
We are.
2 hours later with Caleb Beaver. I'm sorry, with everything happening right now, like it's crazy. I'm sorry. I thought we were gonna get to like talk about you the entire time and it was gonna be your day.
I'd so much
Apparently,
rather it not be. But this will be so much fun.
apparently it's Trump's day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I
let's
got you.
go.
Yep.
Let's go, Trump. Like,
All right. So
what?
I'm sure you guys have seen it,
but let's go.
Here we go.
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
So yeah.
Dang, bro, that's crazy.
Like,
And these are the pictures that, of course, they
Dang. Hanging in the Louvre. Look at that thing.
like, what? That's
Wow.
and all
Can you
they
zoom
want
in on that one? Sorry.
I don't.
Which one? This one
That
right
one
here?
right there. Yeah.
Can you tell me how?
Yeah.
Just use your mouse pad and pinch and move, kind of like on your phone. That works too. Yeah.
Okay.
And then scroll down.
I don't know if I can go any closer.
Dang, dude. No, that's
Yeah, right there. Crazy.
holy crap. It looks like he took a little hit to the ear. It's got a little blood there.
Yeah.
Dude. And what all of liberals want to say is January 6th. Right?
Yeah. That's like the thing, right?
Yeah. That's definitely the thing is January 6th. And look, I talked to dude, I really wanted to get into just a regular conversation with you, but like apparently we're not getting into a regular conversation tonight.
No, probably not.
No, we're not.
So I pulled up that picture on my screen over here, and it looks like there's a pretty serious chunk coming out of his ear.
Yeah,
like there's like a divot on the side of his ear, and for when I first saw it, I thought, well, like some shooting was going on somewhere in the crowd, because that just people get crazy when they're in crowds, whatever.
Yeah,
and
we've had that before. It's happened before.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right. And so you just expect like, okay, somebody's out there shooting at somebody, and then obviously he's got to take cover. And so when he dropped down, like something happened when Secret Service came over and like jumped on him, and like they just clobbered him, right? Like something happened, and they like maybe somebody's sidearm or their belt like cut his ear or face or whatever, and then he popped up and he was bleeding a little bit. But then I like rewatched the video, and like the one shot goes off and immediately he goes to like grab his ear. So you're like, oh, okay, so something hit him, right? Like you're not like unless he's swatting at flies or mosquitoes or something. I don't know how they are in Pennsylvania, but yeah, it looked like he got a Mike Tyson bite out of his ear, you know?
Dude, not even a Mike Tyson bite, but like again, Jonathan Ortega, fuck gun sales are about to skyrocket because liberals will scream gun control, and we're gonna be like, nah, bro. Like everybody should carry now. Like just Secret Service can't protect him. Everybody should carry.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough job, right? Like if you're like executive protection, or if you're doing some sort of like and I've never done those jobs, so I have no idea. But from what I understand, just to the limited knowledge that I have, it is very difficult to plan for all those contingencies, right? Like you have there's so many different ways that somebody can find a way to do what they want to do, right? They're going to if they really want to. So.
We talk about cops all the time, and we talk about how their job is so hard, and you don't know what's going to happen, and you don't know what's going to pop off at any given moment. what the like.
Right. That's it. That's a prime example right there.
We've all talked about it. Like, it's election year. Like, people are getting censored. You can't post. You can't, like, even my friends. Like, I just talked to Mercedes Chandler and Jana and whatever, and they can't post without being censored. And
Wow.
there's that in the post right now too. Like,
Well,
if you,
isn't Savon kind of getting censored too? Like, he's getting all those, like,
yeah,
make sure that you
That's
know
right.
that this person posts false things. So if you really want to follow false things, then go ahead and, you know, click the follow button or whatever. But it seems like that it's picking up a lot. And is it because it is an election year? So it's very much in favor of the side that the social media platforms want to win.
That's right. I mean, they're all privatized companies, right? So they can kind of do what they want. I mean, you can look at how ChatGPT is set up, and you could say, I mean, I don't know specific examples, but there were people that were running through a series of questions on ChatGPT, and it was very obviously leaning one way more than the other. You know, like it's created with the bias of the person creating it. It's not like entirely a sentient being. It's just whatever somebody decided, like, hey, this is the sequence of answers that I want to give, you know?
Right. I mean, and we noticed that with social media, no matter what platform you're on, you follow one thing.
Heidi Kroom, Beaver, what do you think about the Lord?
I'm no John Young, I'll tell you that.
We had the Lord conversation already.
Okay, good. Yeah, hey, I'll let John Young talk on the Lord. That's not my place.
But on social media, you follow one thing, you see one thing, and then your entire algorithm is changed and channeled to that specific thing. So it almost seems like it's even more now because it is an election year.
Yeah, I mean, you have that with your own feed, right? Like one time, like you go to your explore page, I click on a picture of a chick with really big boobs, and now all of a sudden my entire explore page is a chick with big boobs, you know? It's like, that's just the way that's how it is for everybody. Everybody's got their little microcosm of their own little whatever they want or whatever they want to look at, you know? It's crazy, man. Crazy, dude.
With stuff like this, though, you know, you said that if somebody wants to do something, they're going to find a way no matter what. But in situations like this, for these rallies, wouldn't you think that the security would be even more amplified?
100%. I mean, I think the big issue is it's an open air space, you know, like he's outside. He's quite literally the center of attention, right? So all 10, 20, 30,000 people that are at this rally are all like circled around him on the stage by himself. So, I mean, yeah, you don't want to have all of your Secret Service and police or whatever standing on top of him, because then obviously he's like, you can't see him and it's not as impactful, and there's just a little symbolism about you standing on top of a stage by yourself, like that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, they do the best they can to like look at every contingency. You have guys that are looking through everything well in advance. They scout out these locations very well, you know. So and when you hear those, this is just what I imagine happened is the guy probably got one or two shots off, and then the rest of them are probably snipers that are around trying to found the guy within those 2-3 seconds, and they're like, yeah, you're fucking dead, buddy. Sorry.
Oh, that's
crazy. What I imagine. I don't know if I haven't seen anything about them finding out who the guy is or if he's dead or whatever, but
here's Jonathan Ortega. He sent us something about the shooter. So
did they found him?
I have no idea. Jonathan Ortega was just like, Clinton, I sent you a DM about the shooter. So we're about to we're about to find out all together.
Butler Police Department up there in Pennsylvania. The shooter who just tried to assassinate Donald Trump has been arrested, which means that he's alive. And he's identified as Mark Violets, who is an Antifa member. Apparently, prior to the assassination attempt, Mark Violets uploaded a video on YouTube claiming justice is coming. And this is coming directly from the Butler Police Department. So, I mean, I would imagine that there's some credibility with them. Now, the next thing I want you to see is apparently one person might have actually lost their life from this thing, because this video up here that was displayed on Fox shows a bunch of state troopers and law enforcement officials carrying somebody out. Now, I don't know, you can't see anything.
And also, I want to state that this is coming from the loving, left. We're so loving and we're so accepting.
I don't know if that person lost their life or not, but the fact of the matter is who is Mark Violets, and what is he? Was he paid? Is he acting independently? What's going on? You know, per the Butler Police Department up there in Pennsylvania, the shooter who just tried to assassinate Donald Trump has been arrested.
So that's where my aunt is. That sucks.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
He was at the rally, or she was just in the area?
No, that's just that area. So like I'll be up there soon because we go every year after the
usually we'll see what happens.
Airfare might be through the roof now. It's gonna be tough.
I'm not even flying.
No,
are you even flying?
Oh my God.
I'm not flying.
Yeah. You got Boeing, and now you got this going on. Nobody's flying.
Negative.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
No one's going no damn where. Everybody's just staying at home.
That is crazy to think about, though. If you you have the left, we'll just use air quotes there. It's just they preach the peace and love, and everybody like we just need to get along or whatever. And then the moment they start losing in a way, somebody's going to throw a fit, and they're going to throw this tantrum so hard that they start trying to kill somebody, you know? It's like, hey, that's not really how that works, I don't think. But
I just wonder why the sticking point in always, and again, I'm sorry that this isn't or I hope that some of it'll end up being your night. But
it will. We'll talk about this for a couple more minutes and then we'll move on.
Yeah. But I just always wonder why the sticking point for the left is January 6th. Like, that is all that they can talk about. It doesn't, no matter what we say, like we say, hey, there's men in women's bathrooms. We say abortion stuff. We say like whatever it is that we say, they're just like January 6th.
Yeah. That's the counter argument for everything, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. They I was talking to a family member kind of about this, and they were like, all you guys talk about is the fact that he stuttered for a little bit in a speech. Like, get over it, man. Like, they're talking about Joe Biden, obviously. They're like, you're just saying that he stuttered. Like, come on, it happens it just happens to everybody. I'm like, is it stuttering or is he actually cognitively declining? Like, and I don't know, but when you look at him on TV, it doesn't look promising, you know?
It's that thing where they're like, hey, your grandparents have forgotten your name.
Yeah, right.
My parents have forgotten my name. It's
he forgot the person was the guy was standing right next to him. Zelensky was, and he didn't remember his name.
Yeah.
Like his own vice president, he didn't call her by the right name. It's like
called her Trump.
That's right. Right. He's like, well, that's just who's on my mind all the time. We're gonna beat him. Like, okay, whatever you say, man. That's fine.
Do we have to laugh about it because it's kind of terrifying what's going on right now?
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, it's like impending doom, you know? You're like what else can you do? You're not gonna you can't just get wound up about it and be pissed or whatever. Then it's just a waste of energy. It's so much easier for me to laugh about the terrifying things and just make jokes about it than it is to be like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. You know, like there's no point in me dwelling on it.
And you're in the military.
Oh yeah. So anything that sucks is hilarious. You know, you could like
anything.
It's like, oh, I gotta take a shit in the porta potty at 120 degrees outside. This is awesome, dude. I could feel the sweat on my nutsack dripping into the toilet bowl. You know,
So you're commander in chief, like you're just like, hey, whatever, dude. I got my nutsack carries.
Whatever, man. It's cool.
Have
We're
you
all
always
suffering.
have you always had a personality like that, or do you feel like your time in the military has kind of developed that type of personality or reaction to stuff like that?
Yeah, probably being in the military kind of did it. That it probably brought it out a little bit more. When I was young, I mean, like my dad was in the Air Force for 20 something years, so we moved around a lot, and I probably took things a little bit like more negatively when I was younger before I joined the military. Like when negative things would happen, I would be like, like it would affect me for like days, you know. And then now it's like you just can't do that, you know. It's you can't really like just let that sit on your chest for days on end. Like it's happened in the past. Like it happens sometimes still, but more often than not, I'll make a joke about it and move on. So yeah, it's definitely like a learned skill.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
All right.
Mhm.
Let's everybody, ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome to the Caleb Show.
Caleb Show.
That's really how she wanted to start this.
Sure,
I
yeah.
had a whole plan, and then the plan
No
went
way.
out.
No way. Never have a plan because it always
Yeah,
just
right?
went out
I
the window,
know.
man.
Never.
Okay, so when did you actually like go into how old were you when you went into the military?
But it was 2019, so I was 24. I was 24. Yeah, so
You were 24 in 2019. My whole body hurts right now.
hey, mine does too. I got this. I got arthritis, man. I'm already fucked up. But yeah. So when I was a kid, obviously, like I said, my dad was in the military, so that was just kind of the thing. All of both my grandpas were in the military. Had some uncles, you know, that whole thing. So you just get raised in that environment, and not that was like the only option I had, but that just seemed to be like the right thing to do. You know, we were still kind of doing stuff downrange. Like there was still war to be fought in a way, you know, just not that I have any.
So your family was fine with it. Like they
100%.
were like, yeah.
There was a caveat. They said, so before I joined the military, because I'd wanted to do it all through high school. Before I joined the military, my parents said you have to go to college first. So my dad had he had like the GI Bill, like it was like a set of tuition that you can give to, like you can use it for yourself as the active duty member, or you can pass along your family members. It's just like a chunk of money that you can use to go to college, and it basically pays for everything, and it's actually awesome. Like I wouldn't have been able to go to the school that I went to. Not that it was a nice school, but it was like a private school, and I learned pretty good stuff there. And but yeah, I had to go to college first. So I went to college, and I got a degree in athletic training, sports medicine stuff. And then immediately after I graduated, I started the process to join the military. And that was around the time I was 24. There was absolutely zero chance I was going to join the Army, the Marine Corps, or the Navy. Like maybe the Coast Guard, pretty low. Another one that was pretty low on the totem pole. So I joined the Air Force, and it was a decent decision, I guess. The better of the branches, and I know everybody is going to come at me for that, but
really, no, I'm about to. So, so my uncle was Air Force, and when I went in, he was trying to like get me to go into the Air Force. He's like, "You'll be fine," or whatever. But what was it about the Air Force? Like at the time?
Oh man, every Air Force base has a golf course. So if that tells you anything about the quality of life in the Air Force, that's all you need to know, man. It's all you need to know. And you don't need like a membership to go there. You just use your government ID, and you can just go to the driving range, swing some golf balls around, and yeah, man, it's cool. And you like probably 80-90% of the jobs you can just sit on your ass and clack away at a keyboard, you know.
That's it.
Like You're not, and you don't. Nobody's gonna come around and be like, get on your face and do 20 push-ups. Like nobody's gonna do that. You're just like, nobody's gonna do, like, it's just so much better, So I don't like dealing with stupid games. I like to be logical, and the Air Force is the most logical. Like when you go on TDY, which TDY is when you go on like a trip somewhere, like you go do some training, something.
It's like your time off. TDY is like your time off.
Yeah, and they put you in a really nice hotel. Like you get put in like a Marriott or like a Holiday Inn. Like you're not going to get put in the Motel 6. They're not going to put you out in a tent in the field. So yeah, I was like, the Air Force sounds great, and everybody else in my family did that. So I'm going to trust the fact that they've got like allotted 75 years of Air Force time to know that that's the way to go.
Jonathan Ortega, bro, I had an Air Force dude attached to us for 2 months for a training mission. He got extra pay for sleeping in our barracks because they were subpar.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm not even joking. Like, that's legit. He's not lying. Like, you submit your little pay stub or whatever, and you're like, man, they put me in a tent, brother. And they're like, really? Dang, that's not okay. Here's like $20 extra a day, or like, so you get paid out pretty good money after that. It's true.
Wait, all right. So when I first knew that you were around, you were in a barracks overseas somewhere, nobody knows. It was a random like bunker that you were in, and you would just pop up on Sevon's podcast to help him with the behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
How does that happen? Do you know Souza?
Did you also slide into Sevon's DMs?
Yeah, did you slide into Sevon's DMs? Is there like, also, does your wife be like, hey, what are our life choices right now? With your friends? Like, what's happening?
So I got started with Sevon like probably I know Sevon likes to tell the story that like, oh, I was deployed and that was like how I got my I didn't have anything else to do, so I started with him. But I started like working with him like a year before that. I hated my job. It was horrible. So the job that I had, I was just sitting in a very dingy office space and taking blood pressures on active duty members and listening to them gripe and moan about all of their ailments. And it was horrible. It was like customer service. I hate customer service. So I did not enjoy that. I don't like appeasing people that I don't care for.
Working with the public. Yes.
Yeah. They're just, and it's like, you're not getting like really great people that go in there. You just got like the real shitbags, and I don't really care for shitbags. So anyway, one day, I knew of Sevon from obviously the original behind the scenes, and that was just I've just kept following him along. I followed his 3 Playing Brothers forever just because like that was super cool. I thought that was amazing.
Yep.
Obviously just legend in the space. He won't admit to that, but he's won't.
Right? Yeah, of
course. So I DM'd him he was selling a motorcycle, and there's no way in hell I'll ever buy a motorcycle. My wife's going to kill me. She was a paramedic. She's seen motorcycle accidents, but it's just never going to happen. Anyway, he was selling a motorcycle. I DM'd him and I was like, how much for the motorcycle? Just to fucking say it. And he replied and gave me the price. Obviously, I never bought it, whatever. But like that moved me into his DMs.
Real quick. Caleb saved me at the games. I don't care what anybody says. So you saved a lady at the games. Good job, Caleb.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Whatever you say, Odd. And so then he started doing his podcast again, and I he was doing a lot of good stuff, and I was listening to it all the time because I had nothing better to do. And so I DM'd him and I was like, hey, somebody needs to make clips for you because you say a lot of cool shit, and like you need to get that out to the world. And he was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, okay,
Great.
I'll do it. Like, okay. I mean,
Perfect Sevon response too. Like he doesn't
I know.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
that's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, fine, like I'll do it. And he goes, okay, send him to this email address. And I'm like, all right. I've never done this before in my life. My background is medicine. I don't know how to do social media, nothing. And so I figured out how to make clips or whatever. I started sending them to him. And that's just kind of like how that relationship started. So then that kind of grew into like, hey, do you want to help? Like, do you want to come on the show and like help me like pull stuff up and reference things and everything? So I started doing that. And then, yeah, so then I got deployed.
Well, hold on, because you had no idea how to use StreamYard. You had no idea, or whatever it was that he had originally. You had no idea how to use any of that. You just figured
Hell
it
no,
out.
dude. Hell no. I don't know how to. I barely even know how to FaceTime my wife. Like, you know?
You don't know how to FaceTime your wife. You don't know how to do any of this technological shit, but you're like, hey, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Why? Where did that come from?
I'm telling you, I hated my job so much I would do anything else but sit at that desk. Like it was that was like the excitement that I got, you know, like I was like, oh shit, like I gotta learn something now, you know, and like not that he was like holding me accountable for anything at all. He was just like, yeah, if you want to do it, go for it. And I was like, oh shit, Sevon said that I could do something for him. Like, I'm sure, yeah, let's do it. You know, I'll do whatever. And,
dude, that's cool because the first interaction I ever had with you was like, hey, how do you do this? And you're like, oh, easy, hit control this or command this, or if you're on HP, do this. If you're on a Mac, do this. And I'm like, I don't know what that means.
I'll try.
I don't know what the letters mean. But like,
yeah, I didn't know that either for a really long time.
It's cool because it just goes back to the thing that I think the kind of thread that I'm pulling at that I found between all of you guys is that you're self-made and you just want to do something. And he was like, hey, it kind of makes me want to ask him, hey, did you just figure out how to do it? Like you had the CrossFit Games podcast, you knew how to do all of the behind the scenes and the editing but did you just make yourself on your own YouTube? You know what I mean?
I mean, as far as I understand, and I wanted to pull at that thread with him too, but I've never really had the opportunity to do it. But just from the past few years working with him, that's what I see too. You know, like
you guys all are.
Yeah, you watch Sevon, you watch the behind the scenes, and you kind of when Sevon's the one filming, right? Because his shit's out of focus and the lens is pointed at everybody's chest. Yes. And like you don't have to be a genius to know that that's like not right, you know, like that's not out of focus. But you know, like he doesn't care so much about he doesn't really do that. He's more of like I'm here to get the content, to interview the athletes, to spotlight them kind of thing. And yeah, I think he's done everything himself, you know, he's learned everything on his own. He's been able to.
It's cool because you can see it in the shows where you're on the show and where you're not on the show.
Yes.
Like you can definitely tell when you're there to pull things up from behind the scenes or where you're there to help it. Like even with his shows where his audio doesn't work, like you can tell when you're there and when you're not there for real. Like for real.
That makes me feel bad.
Like you can tell.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, Caleb's there. You can't see him, but Caleb's there. And then when like Sevon's just by himself.
Yeah. There's sometimes I'll be like, I can't be on the show, or like I'm driving, or like I was at the airport one day and I'm just like listening to it and I'm like, motherfucker, I'm gonna fix this right now. So I'll like quick hop on and be like, I'm gonna rearrange whatever it is or whatever, and like then I go fix it and then I gotta leave or whatever. So it sucks when I can't be there.
Well, I've never had the chance to ask any of the other guys that we've had on here or whatever, but what is it about Sevon that is like for you that you reach out and you just want to help and you just want to be like, what is it about him that gets you to knock on the door And then when he opens the door, like what gets you to walk through the door and want to work with him the way that you do?
Man, that's a good question.
Yes.
Oh shit. My Starlink just went out. What'd you say? Sorry. Say that one more time.
No, I was getting excited because
she was giving
that's what
herself.
I get. My goal in every interview is to get someone to say, "Oh, that's a really good question," or sit back for a second, like do a Sevon where he just sits back and he thinks for a second. So that's my
okay.
I got excited for that.
Okay, got it. So the way I kind of see it is you have like you ever have like a really close friend group, like where, or like not even you ever have a dog that just will never leave your side?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know that no matter what you do, like that person, like they're gonna be there to pick up your scraps off the table, or like, this is probably a horrible analogy, but
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
you know that it's there's a level of loyalty to, like,
I would say he's loyal. You could feel the loyalty. Yeah.
He's not a dog. He's not gonna
Yes.
like
Yeah.
whatever,
No,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
He's like, you know that you can go to him for help, and you know that he will reciprocate
For
if
sure.
you guys, if there is that like symbiotic relationship, right?
Mhm.
Like you have like it's just like a really, really good friend. Like the only other time that I've experienced that would be people that I've met in the military, right? So you have there are a handful of guys and ladies that I've met in the military that are the 5 people that I would ever talk to ever for anything I would ever need, ever. And I know that if I go to those people, that they will help me. And they know that if they come to me, I will help them.
Yeah.
I get a phone call or have a phone call with one of those people 2-3 times a week. And that's the family that you have with like this group of people, with the Sevons and the Souzas and
Yeah.
so that's why, like, you know, it's not like I got to work for this guy. It's like I get to hang out with this dude, and we get to bullshit, and we get to talk trash on people, and like just get to hang out.
There's something that Taylor said on one of the podcasts with us where he said, like, Sevon just makes him comfortable enough to be himself and just talk, and sometimes he does it too much or whatever, but there's just something about being in Sevon's presence that makes him comfortable enough to talk that way, and there's something about being in Sevon's presence that just makes you wanna do better. I don't know what it is. I know it too. Like, I see it too, and I watch all of you guys do it, and to me, it's inspiring, and it's just fire. Like, seeing you just pop up out of nowhere, like the beginning of the podcast when you were on, and you would just pop out of like behind the scenes and be like, "Yeah, it's whatever," and then you would pop back off, and then pop back on, and like say something else, and then pop off. And then all of a sudden you were just a fixture next to him on the show. It always just, I was always just like, yeah, that's that feeling of like, okay, it's family. They're family.
That's
And
right.
they'll do whatever for them.
Yeah. That's how it feels. I mean, family. It's a good way.
I should have asked you about your wife before, Sevon. Please extend my apologies to your wife. But what does your wife think when all of a sudden you're overseas, popping up on podcasts and working for Sevon? Like, how does she feel?
Man, I cannot tell you how fucking down for everything my wife is. She is like, so I met her when I was in college. So if I hadn't gone to college first, I wouldn't have met my wife. So then I'm glad I did join the military when I did. So
yeah, I
just
guess
get that out of the way.
I guess you gotta thank your family. Like, yeah, you guys were
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, right. It's like I wouldn't have this wonderful wife if I hadn't gone to college first. So there's that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, ever since I met, like, as soon as I met my wife, she was in it, man. Like, I told her right off the bat, I said, hey, this is, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I told her I was going to join the military. I'm going to do X job, and shit's going to be hard, and I'm going to be gone, and I'm going to have like stuff to do, and I'm not going to stick. You're not going to stick around if you're not down for that, you know. And she was like, okay, like that's cool, let's do it. I was like, okay.
And what's she doing at the same time? At the same time that you're about to go into the military, what's she doing?
So she had just graduated college, and what happened? That was the sequence here. So we were together from my sophomore, her freshman year, all the way. Oh shit, she's here.
I was like, is this the wifey? Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Let's make sure I get the story straight here. Okay?
Yeah.
She wants to make sure.
Yeah. She can correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah, you can help us out at any turn.
So her freshman year, my sophomore year, we got together. I put her in the friend zone, like immediately. I was like, hey, I'm not doing this unless you're for real about it. So I had to like, I just want to make sure, like, hey, I don't know. I just want to make sure she's down for it. She was down for it and graduated college. She graduated college, and then I left for the military about a year after. And she was just working some job. She was a softball coach and some sort of like guidance counselor type at the university that we graduated from. Mm-hmm. But she was like, yeah, okay, sounds good. So we did that. I joined the military, and then I got my first duty station, and we all picked up all of our stuff, and we moved across country. And when she hit the ground running, as soon as we got to my first duty station, she was like, I think I want to be a firefighter. I was like, fucking yeah, dude, do it. Do whatever you want. Like we have never stood in each other's way of anything that we've decided that we wanted to do. And so yeah, we totally she got into a fire academy, got hired immediately, went through the entire academy and just beat the living dog shit out of every other person in the academy. And then she was a firefighter, and now she's a firefighter paramedic, and she just got a job at another department. Anyway, this whole time she's down for it, man. So I told her that I was going to start
asking you, girl. I was a softball coach too, and yeah,
no shit.
Like we ride. I
what
coached...
position do you play when you were playing?
Oh, guys, calm down. Don't react to this. But I was a pitcher, and I coached pitchers.
Okay. Awesome. That's hard, dude. When I would go to the softball coach, I would go to softball practice with her, and that shit is no joke.
Yeah, it's fire. It's fun. It's a good time. So I totally respect that, and the fact that she wanted to go into the fire department, like I respect that too. That's that, and that she like rides for you completely, and you guys, yeah, everything's
100%.
cool.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
When she was a softball coach, one of their catchers was broken or something, and I just came over, and I just and I was just watching, and they're like, Caleb, you want to catch? And I was like,
yeah,
the fuck I do. And they're like, we don't have anybody else. You're in. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking die here. And, yeah. So I sat behind the plate and I fucking tried my hardest.
Good job, dude. Like, good on you.
I've never played baseball. I never played softball. I don't play those sports. That's not my gig. I'm a soccer player, man. I play soccer.
You played soccer? What position?
Everything. All of it. I was like the big. Oh, okay, cool. Did not play goalie. That's another thing. Not a catcher, not a goalie. Don't do that shit. That's not my gig. That's
you're
scary,
too tall to be a catcher, but you should be a goalie, bro. What the
hell?
No, dude. I'm like 6'2". I don't.
Yeah,
that's perfect for a goalie. Like arm out, extension, whatever.
You wouldn't catch me dead standing in front of a soccer ball. No way.
How long did you play soccer for? Did you play it like in high school?
Forever. I played until I graduated college. So,
okay.
Yeah, I played for a Division III school, and It was horrible. We were absolute ass, but it was cool. It was fun. We did the thing. You know, we lost 10-0 a lot, but it's cool.
10-0 a lot. Did you score any goals?
Hell no! I had one shot on goal all 4 years. It was like 30 yards out. And it was like everybody was like that. If you think that they kept me, everybody else is the same. That's why I never won, dude.
It was literally a team effort. Y'all were on the
100%.
same team through and through. That's it.
100% trash the entire way.
That's awesome.
It was so bad, dude. It was so bad.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hold on, Bernie Gannon, go easy. Garrett is a Mets fan, so she had to learn proper baseball, softball skills from scratch.
Oh shit! Shots fired, dude. Ouch.
Ouch, Bernie. Ouch.
It's a tough day for me, bro.
Oh, man.
Listen, it's a tough
crowd.
day. I love you, Bernie. You're my man. You're always in my heart, but tough day. I mean, you're not
Jeez,
wrong.
dude.
You're not wrong. But yes, I did from scratch. But yeah, okay. So your wife is not mad at you. She rides for you. She's not like, hey, why are we having these new friends? She sees the Sevon podcast and she's fine with it. No,
100%. Yeah, no, there was no qualms with it. She, yeah, I'll be like, oh, I have a show tonight. And she's like, okay. I'm like, I'll make dinner or whatever.
She never watched him and was like, hey, who are you talking to right now?
No, no. It was never like there was never any friction about it. It was always just like, oh, okay. And she, I mean, before we were together, she didn't know much about CrossFit. She had never so everything that she kind of knew at the time was like what I would tell her about the CrossFit Games or whatever. Like I had basically been trying to court her to do CrossFit with me for a really long time, you know? And so,
she's fire. I already like her immensely, girl. What, like, if there's anything I can do to help, like, you're amazing. Like she never, there's no person that I've talked to that a wife didn't have to warm up to Sevon, but like she didn't have to.
no, not, I can't say that she doesn't like watch every show or anything, you know, like there's some stuff, obviously. I mean, shouldn't say obviously, but there's some
Did
stuff.
she watch you on Pedro's show?
I don't
Come
know.
on, that was awesome.
I think so. I think she did.
How did you get that? Like, where did that accent come from? Where was that person? How?
I don't know. I pull that out every once in a while.
That
I just
moment?
No, I do that sometimes. If I've had a few beers in me, or you know, if I'm just like trying to poke some fun at people, then I'll come up with the accent.
That's awesome. It was great, dude. By the way, it was great. It was fire.
Good,
it was so
I'm glad.
fire.
I'm glad. Yeah, that was fun.
Do you think your relationship is as strong as it is because you were very clear from the beginning? And it sounds like she was too, of like, this is what I want. This is where I'm going. If you're not down for it, that's okay. But like, this is where I'm going. Do you feel like that is a strength for your relationship?
Absolutely, dude. There has never been, there's no like non-communicate. There's never an instance where we're arguing about something and we just like we cut it off, you know. Like there's a like she'd probably kick me for saying this, but we just got it. We had a little bit of a tiff earlier today, and it was just stupid shit. Just like my car's broken basically, and I need to get a new car. And so I was like, well, I want this one. This is the one that I want. And she's like, well, maybe not do that. You know, she's like, hey, let's bring it back down to earth. And at the time I was like, hell no.
No, I want that one.
I budgeted for this. I came up with the spreadsheet. I gave all of our expenses. I did all this shit, you know. I know math. I can tell you we make money and we make enough that we can get this one right here. This freaking golden goose egg. And she was like, I don't really want to pay that much for this car. And I'm like, well, you know what? I don't really like your tone when you say that, you know? And so we just had that was like and obviously we're not like with each other right now. She's back home. So this is, yeah. So we're having like, this is like an over the phone conversation. Like I'm on the phone with her, like, yo, I don't like this. And so we're just not really, so that's like, that's hard, you know, like it's difficult to like have an argument with somebody who's a ways away, who's like, hey, I gotta go do something. So, yeah, we've talked it out and we're like, hey, okay, well, let's revisit this, or let's like, how about you look this in this direction? Or like, she's always been very good at communicating with me because I have a strong personality, if you want to call it that. Like I'm going to be very direct.
No, you have a strong personality.
Yeah, right. Weird. But like I'm very direct, and I'm very like if I want something, I'm going to go do it, you know, like not. And so if there's like something that I want, it's going to be very difficult for me to be pried away from that.
To change your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So from the start, she's always been very good at like manipulating that in a way, and being like, and just talking to me in a way that doesn't make me feel like I'm a fucking dumbass, or like just not going to infuriate me more. Like she's not going to poke me when we have a conversation about something that causes some friction. And we've always, every time I think we have a conversation, if there's any sort of disagreement or something, like by the time the conversation is over, we've figured it out. And that's
so I've always been curious, how did you guys do when you moved to the Shadigan? Because you put up all the Shadigan videos. They were amazing. Loved every single one of them. Especially all of the, like, you know, I mean, I know you didn't love them, but the water popping out of the, like, you hit the water main wrong or whatever. And like,
I saw the shit out of that fight. that really, anyway.
And she was just chill. Like she just was like, oh, okay, you got to go to Home Depot and get a new.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So, that was like buying that property was like, it was like not really a need, but we had to do it. So, it's in our hometown and it was super cheap, and it's really, really close to our family. And because both of our families live in the same cities, all of our families settled in the same spot, which is actually miraculous and awesome. So when we ever have kids, like we have built-in babysitters. But we need, like,
you think so right now, but
yeah. No, I'm not. I will do everything in my power to not make them watch my kids. That's
yeah,
you know what I mean? Not like not that I don't want them to, but
yeah.
Like, you love my parents.
I get it.
Love your mom and dad. If you're watching this, love you so much. Great. But yeah, so we didn't necessarily, we bought it for the building, but we really just bought it for the property. And when all this stuff started coming up that it was wrong, we both just kind of looked at each other like, okay, well, there's always a solution to these problems, right? Like I can fix the pipe. I can learn how to solder copper. I can learn how to put up drywall. I can learn how to install a sink. I can learn how to install a toilet. There's so many YouTube videos out there, and we both have a strong enough willpower to figure out a solution that eventually we'll come to a solution and we'll fix the problems. And we have enough help around us that if we don't know it, then somebody else knows it and has a way to do it. So then we ask them. But I think because she joined the fire service and became a firefighter paramedic, there is a level of problem solving that comes with that, and understanding that like there are exponentially worse problems to be had than a broken water main. I shit you not, when I called her, when I hit that water pipe, I was furious.
You were so mad. You were so mad.
Pissed. Absolutely pissed. And I was like, this is it. This is a fucking end of the world. This is like the worst thing that could have ever happened to me, right? Like I cut a pipe. And I called her and I was like, I just hit a pipe. She goes like, okay. What? Yeah. So what? And I'm like, it's flood. Like there's water everywhere. Like I'm like losing my shit. Like I don't know how to fix that. That's a copper. And I was spiraling so fast. Like that was a moment where I was like, oh my God, this is it for me. Like I'm like, this whole house is just going to come out in shambles and we're all going to be fucked. And all this money that we put into it's going to be for nothing and all that. And she was like, no, it's all good. Like, we'll fix it. Like there's a way. We have all these things. Like we can, like, it's no big deal. And that goes to the point where she knows how to talk to me. And like, it's like, yo, dude, just shut off the water. Like,
Yeah.
Like, she has that demeanor about her. So like if she's going to show up to a fire scene and somebody's having a heart attack and she's going to do CPR on them, like she can't just be like, holy fuck, I got to do CPR and drag them out of the house. It's like, okay, yeah, you're in good hands. I'm here to help you as best as I can. And we're going to do the best that we can to fix the house, you know? So, she was like that well before she joined the fire service, but I think when she did, she like it added added a little bit to that ability for her. So yeah.
So that's that. Well, Bernie Gannon, that was one angry beaver. Yes, that was hysterical.
Oh, I spiked the hell out of that mask. I needed to get a new one after that. I broke the fingers off of it.
But so what's up from man? There's so many questions that I want to ask you, which again means that I'm probably gonna bother you after the game somewhere and like whatever. But I kind of want to go back to the military a little bit because these are just questions I've always wanted to ask you. What when you go to MEPS, right, and you swear in, and you
the
go,
guy looks at your butthole and you duck walk in your underwear.
Oh. No, as women, we didn't have to do that. So how does that work for men? Since you brought that up, let's go. Because, we do chat appreciation over here. I'm always happy to talk about a butthole. What do you guys have to do?
Yeah. There's some old geezer who's a contract doctor or some like super old government
This is
worker.
2019?
Yeah, bro. They've been doing this for decades.
Okay,
the way that they screen people is not changed.
Okay, so now I just want to put out for all men, I am sorry, and I feel bad that you have to. They look at your butthole and they spread. I am sorry,
100%.
guys.
So if you see any like freaking pipe hitting like strong SEAL looking motherfucking ex-military guy, just know some old guy looked at his butthole at one point. They're not that hard, man. They're not hard. They had to bend over a freaking exam table, and some old crotchety doctor looked in their butthole. So there you go.
If you try for special ops, you get too fake. I can't stop. Okay.
There you go.
Okay, so I wasn't going there, but as far as
anyway, back to the MEP stuff. Yeah.
Yes, please. I'm sorry, guys. I love you all.
This is great.
And
this is fantastic.
My bad for this question, but what at MEPS, like when you're waiting, right? Because you swear in, you've signed your contract, you're ready to go. You got all they give you the like happy t-shirts to make you feel like you're part of the military.
Yeah.
You take a picture, and you're like whatever, and you go to sleep that night in the hotel and wait to wake up in the morning with your like half a backpack and whatever. Does it set in like, hey, I made this decision and here I am, I'm about to like leave everything I know? Like, does that settle in for you, or are you just like, yeah, I'm about to go, I'm about to be? What is it like for dudes? Because I was like, contemplating life decisions, but I mean, I was fine with it, but there was a little bit of hesitancy.
Yeah, no, I didn't really care. I
think that's dudes though.
Yeah, I cared when I got deployed. That shit sucked. But when I joined the military, I was like, yeah, this is like what we do, so I just do it. Like there wasn't like a
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah,
got
dude.
t-shirts, bro. Yeah,
yeah,
we
bro.
did get t-shirts.
Hell yeah. It was never like a, oh God, what did I do to myself? It was like, yeah, I didn't super care. I was just like, yeah, we do this. I think obviously my family was not super stoked about it because my even though they weren't against it, they were just like, oh shit, he's leaving now and he's gonna go. So because what I don't think people understand is once you leave for the military, like it's like getting on a hamster wheel that's moving 1,000,000 miles an hour and you can't get off. Like you are stuck on that hamster wheel for however many years you signed your contract or until something happens, like until you get out, you know what I mean? So like you are shot through the pipeline of basic training and into your tech school and into the like your first duty station, and then they're like, okay, now do this, okay, now do this, okay, now do this. Like you don't.
And there's nothing you can do about it. And I feel like that's something that the generations now are missing. Like you just have to say yes. Like you have to say yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Like no, sir. No, ma'am. There's no other real answer to give.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
like
There's
in
no yeah, they
you
don't understand. Like, I think people, I don't freaking know altogether, but I think generally nowadays there's like people think that they can have a back and forth with you about conversations, and like there are instances where yeah, you can have a discussion about other things, but you need to know when to shut up and say
yeah, it's
okay.
like, okay, I think I made my bed right and I like folded my clothes right and I packed my shit right. But if they tell me I didn't, even if I think I did, guess what? I didn't
Right.
because they
Right.
said I didn't. And so, guess what I'm going to go do? Remake my bed, repack my shit, whatever the fuck they told me to redo.
100%.
And it doesn't matter how I feel like I did it. They said I didn't do it right. So, guess what I got to go do?
Fucking do that shit. Yeah, I mean that happened. I'm in a school right now, and that happened to me again. Like it's still happening. You know, like I had a. I think I made my bed right.
Yeah, I think I made my bed right. It got flipped. Yeah.
That's
Like
right. Yeah, dude. You're just yeah, and I I gave an answer to a problem, and they were like, no, that's not it, and I tried to justify the fuck out of it, and I was like, no, this is the answer because, and let me count the ways of which I believe that this is the answer, and they're like, yeah, it doesn't, we don't really care. Like as much as you believe that you're right, and we understand that we understand the thought process that you had to get to that point, it's wrong, and you're like, fuck.
and it's the same thing is like I might believe they're wrong, right? Like I might believe someone tells me something. I might believe someone tells me that a dude's a girl, and they might really believe that, and they want me to believe that, and I believe that they're wrong. Like we're just gonna believe that each other's wrong until you like it's a global thing. Like you can't, and I feel like these kids that are like, no, a girl's a dude.
Yeah.
It's like, no, sorry, you can't tell me that. Just like my bed wasn't made right, just like my shit wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
you
You
can't
can
tell
you can try to justify it in a million different ways.
right.
You're still going to be fucking wrong.
And
Well, when you guys first got into the military, you were sworn in and you got to it's basic, that's first. That's
Yeah.
what comes first.
Yep.
And you do something like don't make your bed right and someone tells you it's wrong. Where do you or like how do you just respond with okay? You know, without the justification. And like I know it's probably like a very stupid question, but like how do you because most people would be like, no, I did it right, or have that like argumentative, like you said, justification type of attitude, or maybe that's a relationship they had before they got into the military. But what happens when you get in the military where you're just like, I just know I have to say yes, I just know I have to agree with what's being said?
Usually what would happen, like you just internalize whatever they told you, and then usually what would happen this is what makes being in the military so great is, and I don't, it's not great. It's like, it's a cool job. Is when that happens, you internalize it. And then when whoever it is that told you to eat shit leaves, you go to your partner, your bunkmate, whoever the fuck. And you're like, dude, what the hell? That's so fucked up. And they're like, yeah, I know, that's super fucked up. And so then you commiserate with them together. And they're like, oh yeah, well, he told me to fix my socks and my socks are just fine. I don't know why I have to change my socks, or whatever. And so the two of you can commiserate about the fact that that guy's a fucking douchebag and you hate everything that he says. And so you have that bond with somebody else. And so then both of them are like, all right, well, I guess we'll fucking fix our socks and make our bed again together. And so then it's like a shared suffering thing that everybody kind of goes to.
I just think it's like, as much as they're I don't know. It was a thing where it was just like, I don't have to think about anything, right? Like, my bed was wrong. So now I know how to make it the right way. I know what this dude expects of me. I'm going to do what he expects of me. And then my life is fine. You know what I mean? It just, I know.
You're also doing absolutely nothing else.
Right.
So
there's nothing. Yeah.
You're completely, you have no responsibilities. You don't have a phone. You're not fucking scrolling Instagram all day. There's no TV. You are sitting in this room with 50 other dudes or 50 other chicks, and you are stuck with every stupid, ridiculous task that they give you. And if that is folding your socks and rolling them into cute little balls, or if that's like making sure that your fucking bed has a smile on it.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You just do that. And if you're fucking falling asleep doing it, then like, there's
I don't know about you, Caleb. This might be funny for you, but I made my bed, but somehow we got like there was a couple of us that had blankets. So like I could sleep on top of my folded bed with an extra blanket, get up, get rid of that blanket, tuck it in, make it like real tight corners, and then be out.
You had it good, man. Holy shit. You had an extra blanket. We had
I did.
I never like moved around when
Fire guard. I took fire guard a lot, so I was okay with doing laundry and like whatever.
That's cool. Yeah.
Where'd you go to basic?
Everything for Air Force is in San Antonio. So
okay.
San Antonio, Texas is our thing. There you go.
Caleb. Oh, sorry, chat. My bad. Caleb, I know it will never happen, but do you think our society would be better off if we had compulsory military service as in some other countries? So like you have to go into the military or do some sort of service?
As much as I like the idea, I also hate the idea, because you take away and I know this is kind of like problematic for our force at the moment, but you take away the like pride or the like the volunteer aspect of it, right? Like you have people who are in the military who volunteered to be there. As much as they may hate being there, like they volunteered, and that should be respected in and of itself. Obviously, we're not in wartime, so it's not like, oh my God, they're going to go get shipped off and do fucking crazy shit. But I think when you have people who volunteer to be there and I think that's commendable. And I think those are the people that you want there if they are going to volunteer to be there.
I always wonder about the showing kids what like hardship actually is. Like they think their hardship is they don't get the Starbucks mocha latte made the way that they want it,
or the new iPhone, or
right, or like whatever. And so I when I think about it, I just think about they'll get to see something that like you have to say yes.
It's like there was, I think it's I don't know exactly where it got this from, but I remember seeing something somewhere about how people aren't going through something hard when they're younger. So like some sort of It's probably some Liver King bullshit. I don't know. But like
Oh,
people, they don't go through something that's like, they don't have like a proving ground anymore. And
Yeah.
not that like basic training or any of that bullshit's like,
but not that you have to
so
go through
hard.
trauma, not that you have to go through whatever, but like
No, but
you
it
not
does give
getting-
you something that you're like, oh yeah, wow, I can overcome something that is very difficult. If that means I mean, the Air Force basic training is not really that hard, but mentally you're like, fuck, I do not want to be here right now. Like, this is not fun. You know, it's so giving people something where they have to like overcome some sort of difficulty physically and mentally. Yeah, I think that's something that people need to be doing. And I think you find that a lot in like your like young sports, you know, like your footballs and your soccers or whatever. Like, hey, you have to go to practice and you're going to practice for 2 hours and you're going to do some or 2-a-days and you're going to do your lift in the morning and you're going to do your fucking whatever in the afternoon. Like stuff like that can give people like a sense of achievement.
Yeah, Kenneth, people need challenges. Jonathan
100%.
Ortega, bro, y'all had chicks. I
Not really, but yes, they were like on the other side of the building. Like we saw them every once in a while. You're like, I think that one's really hot. And that's pretty much it.
Yo, I wanted to share this with you. I'm not even sure why I want to share this with you, but like our FTX, like the end of our basic training, and we went on our FTX, and you know, it was out in.
That's like a field training exercise or something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's like a whole like evolution you guys do.
Yeah, so you had like the and this wasn't even basic training. This was AIT. Like it was our actual.
Okay,
like,
that's like how you learn how to do your job.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was the final like last 10 days of our AIT. And so I did AIT at Huachuca in Arizona.
Okay.
Fort Huachuca in Arizona. So it was like 800 million degrees. And we were out like simulating being in the desert, of course, because it's Arizona and we're the desert.
Duh.
So I'm out there. I'm on like, if you want to call it fire guard, like night watch. We're all walking around.
Yeah, you're like standing around watching,
But
making sure nobody shows up, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. And so there's like these little pretend villages.
Oh, I know what you're gonna tell me. I don't
So
know.
Okay.
and it's like the 8th night. Like we have 2 days to go. And we graduate, we're going back home. We're gonna finish up our final tests and shower. Like it's like we haven't showered in a while.
That doesn't happen in the Air Force. You got to deal with that bullshit.
So
Caleb's like another reason why I chose the right place.
We've
I
like
chose
Hell
the right
yeah,
place.
dude.
yes, Sierra Vista. So we've like wet wiped a bunch of times and whatever. So I'm out there with my battle buddy. I look up, flashlight, full gear, flashlight on top of the fake roof of Insurgents. There's it's straight people having sex on top of the roof of the. I was like, y'all couldn't wait.
One more day.
We had like literally 36 hours left. Like
That's just nasty, dude.
what? How like you wonder what the STD ratio is in the military? That's why. It's
Ungodly, dude.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, man. I work.
we
in
have
the
a
hospital.
beautiful
I
home
freaking-
life. Like you go home, you go back to that. We had beautiful barracks. It wasn't like I know the Air Force is just y'all got it laid out like that. But we also had a wonderful home life when we got home. I don't know why you're in the middle of the desert in the god awful heat of summer,
That's
fucking
so
on a
beautiful.
roof.
Oh, that's
at-
so fucked up. Oh, it's so beautiful outside. Look at these stars.
Stars.
You wanna fuck?
Yeah,
Just
Dude.
want to
No,
just
shower.
no. Yeah,
think of that?
I wouldn't want to touch a single person for like a week. I was that.
Insurgents hook up too. They weren't okay. It wasn't a simulation. It was fucking freaky when I shined the flashlight.
simulation.
I was like, y'all, and they were like, "We'll be done in 5." I was like, "You don't got
It's
5."
gonna take you that long? No shot, buddy.
You're good. You're
No
done.
way.
It's over. Always wet wipe from. Yep. And that's all we had were baby wipes. Not even gonna lie.
Brother.
That's it. That was my
Oh,
entire backpack.
brother,
Was
dude.
wet wipes. Like,
Man.
Yeah, I never really had to do anything like that. Probably the closest thing I had to do was when I was deployed. We did like an overnight somewhere, and we had to like pack in, pack out kind of thing, and we had to like we had like toilets. You could like shit in a toilet and flush it, but you couldn't flush the toilet paper, so you had to like wipe and then put the toilet paper in a trash bag, and then we had to like pack that out and then throw that away somewhere else. That was the worst. That was the worst it got.
that was the worst for the Air Force.
That was
Nothing
the
else
worst, man.
happened to the Air Force.
And it was the coolest fucking trip we ever did, dude. I got to sleep on a cot on top of a roof in the middle of the fucking Middle East, and it was the most beautiful night I've ever experienced. Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Other than the fact that I threw my
forgot to
toilet
go.
paper away in the bag, it was fine. It was cool.
No, I got hurt at my first duty station, so I never got to go. I never got to do anything.
Oh, really?
But yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Garrett, you were MI? Yeah, 35 Mike. I mean, that's what it was called back then.
What does that do?
It was military intelligence.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So yeah, and my duty station was at Fort Lewis.
Is
So
that
I got to go to Seattle before Seattle was shit. Or
damn?
not Seattle, but like Tacoma. I was in Tacoma before Tacoma was shit.
You want to be like a government contractor or nothing after that?
I tried. It was weird. I went back to Arizona for a little bit. I did a little bit of help in Arizona.
Yeah.
And then it was weird. My uncle got sick and a lot of stuff happened. So
Yeah.
So she came
Government
home.
work's weird too. It's
yeah,
weird.
it was definitely Jonathan Ortega. I was the brigade medics for the 111th MI. Okay. Yeah.
Dang. Okay. Okay, Ortega.
You're
Yeah,
a medic?
swing that fucking dick around, brother. Let's go.
I know, right? Like
Anybody else? Like,
Yeah. What else you got?
I know.
That's right.
Anybody else want to swing it around?
I
a
mean,
little?
I took the classes where you did the whatever.
T-Triple-C. Throw that
Yeah,
tourniquet
yeah,
on, baby. Let's go. Back that womb.
Yeah. I did what was necessary. I did nothing else, but that's fire. What Kenneth DeLapp, my sister told me boot camp stories sounded like women get away with more desperate for sex.
Yeah. You just have chicks hooking up with each other and in at least in Air Force Base.
Oh, you talking about lesbians? Yeah, we fucked all the time. It was fine. Like,
crazy,
yeah,
man.
we absolutely we had no problems. Like
That's crazy.
because we don't have to take our pants down. If y'all take your pants down, you get caught. We didn't have to take our pants down. So like
Fuck,
it
that's
was
wild.
for sure. Yep. I have so many more stories about that I can't tell.
Dang, bro, that's nuts.
It's not okay.
We would always like
those stories?
we'd always hear crazy stories about women's arm got wild.
Dude. Oh God, Bernie, please stop. Military intelligence makes sense now. Garrett lets Colleen ask all the really tough questions and she just studies scale. Fair.
Interesting. Good to know.
I don't ask difficult. I feel like
that I asked the difficult questions.
I know, but I feel like I asked John Young a ton of difficult questions today. I don't feel like I backed off John Young today. Pause. But I feel like we were both rotated. Talk
about Lord and Savior Jesus Christ with John Young, baby. What'd that Lord do? John?
They did for an hour and
we
15
did.
minutes.
Yeah.
They
Dang,
did.
man.
They did.
No, it was great. But yeah, dude, there was so much more that I wanted to ask you, but I don't want to. I have to go get my kid, but
No
I know. But damn, well, I'll bother you after the games. Go do the games. I know you have like 8 million responsibilities. I wanted to ask you so much tech shit, like behind the scenes tech shit, because I'm just a nerd about it. But
are you going to the games?
I'm not. I'm gonna be in this school for a good amount of time, so I will.
Okay.
Hopefully next year. But I'll be in this RV for like probably the next 8 months.
Oh shit. Are you doing
Yeah.
all the podcasts for the games though? Or like are you gonna be behind the scenes?
Yeah, I'll try to be around for the shows. I'm in class like Monday through Friday, till like I don't know how long. So I'll try to be around as much as I can. But
I'm still gonna bother you afterwards and
please,
bother-
yeah, absolutely.
Do you travel for different schools that you go to for your job? Is that kind of what you do in the military?
Now I do. I was active duty for a good chunk of time, which means I was like full time doing stupid bullshit, and I hated it. So I went into the Guard because my contract wasn't up yet. So I went over to like a part time unit back in Nebraska, and when I did that, I asked if I could have a new job, and they were like, "Yeah, sure." So I got a new job, and now I have to go to school for that job, and so that's why I'm here for a little while, just to learn how to do that for a little bit.
How
That's
much
awesome.
longer is your do you have a long time in your contract before your
So I had to re-sign a contract to go to this school. So they're like, which is fine because I only got to do this shit once a month after I'm done here. So like 1 weekend a month. That being in the Guard is like the most glorious thing because I can stay in one place. I can be with my family. I don't have to go anywhere if I don't want to.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's the best of both worlds.
Awesome.
Jonathan Ortega, no. But I'll tell you in the DMs.
No, you can't put that shit in writing. Right?
Oh yeah,
You
okay.
can't put that shit in writing.
Fine. Just call me.
I can't do that either. I have to go old school, right on a letter.
Yeah.
Right on a letter, send it through the mail.
Kenneth Lab. Caleb, you going to Crash this year?
Dude, I don't know.
Crucible?
I don't know what I'm doing. I might not be doing anything for a long time. So hopefully I can.
After living in that RV, you're just gonna want to go home.
Yeah, this is not bad, man. It's nice living in this RV. You can.
I liked it. After you put up the Starlink and I saw your IG, I had to go look and I was like, oh, Elon really is out here doing these things. Like, okay, Elon's out here in these streets. I'm about it.
Elon's streaming this right now. He brought the Starlink up, you know?
Yep. He's watching and hanging out with us. What's up, man?
That's right. Hey, Elon. Doing great things, brother. Keep it up. Maybe if the connectivity did not break every couple 30 minutes or so, it'd be awesome.
Great.
Way better.
Yeah.
However, clarity's fine. It's cool, man. Thanks.
Oh my God. That's awesome. Dude, thank you so much. Please thank your wife and please apologize if I said, listen, I was about to bring up, did you see on Prime Video, I just literally, and I was alive for this. I don't even know if you were alive for this, but
it was
the good. Lorena Bobbitt, John Wayne Bobbitt, where
I'm gonna have to go look at that. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
She cut off his dick.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that one.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yes.
So
there's a whole documentary on that.
I was alive for this. I remember the newspaper articles, right? Like when it came out, but I didn't know the whole story. I was young. It was like 1994.
So he's gonna look it up right now.
Yeah.
Got something to fall asleep to.
So
That's right.
I literally watched this documentary. They show pictures of the cut.
Yes.
They said the cut was so precise you would have thought a doctor did it. Because when they reattach
him laying on the table.
You only need to watch the first 35 minutes of this. It is just men like, I can't even talk about this. Like men are just like, I can't. 1994, I didn't speak English. You're going to wanna, now that you know English, you're going to want to watch it. So it's just men. And it's just women laughing their asses off because like
the first episode, yes, it's great.
It's
so funny.
It's women thinking like your husband fucked up, you cut his dick off. And it's just men like, bitch, you need to die because you did the worst thing. Like men are just like, you just kill me. Don't cut my dick off. Just because she throws it out.
Put the knife through the heart. Like
because she throws it out the window. She drives down the road, throws it out the window into a park.
Yo, nuh-uh.
So then
when people went to go, when the
EMTs
went to go find, or the EMTs went to go find it,
one of them steps on it.
One of them steps on it
and is like, It's
and then
right
there's
there.
a picture of a guy just pointing.
And he's like, it's right there.
and
I'm
he's
not
even gonna.
I'm not touching it. I'm not looking at it. I'm not touching it.
Oh my god.
Oh my
So
God,
the
Caleb, it's
EMT
so
goes over,
funny.
gets it,
Yep.
picks it up,
Don't they
walks
go to a
it,
7-Eleven?
walks it to the 7-Eleven across the street.
Put
And
it on ice.
and the dude in 7-Eleven is like, yeah, I have a bag of ice if you want to put it in this.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm watching that tonight. That's fucking crazy, dude.
To see men's, which I understand men's reactions completely. Like I was like, oh, that
Okay. When I was sorry, I don't want to keep you.
no,
But
go.
when I was deployed, we had a dude who fucking snapped his dick in half, like come into our clinic, and we were like, so like
Or just
snapped it in half, like still attached, but like snapped in half. And apparently I had no idea about any of this until this moment. Usually it happens when a woman is on top and she like sits on it and misses, and then it just like fractures itself. But he was doing it where I guess he was trying to stretch
Lorena
his
Bobbitt.
dick.
It's Lorena Bobbitt on primetime. Go ahead.
He was trying to stretch his dick, and he just like popped the ligament, and then just like popped it a little bit too much and broke it in half, and we had to send him home. Yeah, so that's fucked up.
How long does that take to heal?
I don't know, dude. Not fast enough. I don't know. I still think about that guy, and I feel horrible.
Baby, can you just pull up the pull up? Can you just so they know the link? But okay, so wait, so in the documentary they ask you, would you rather your wife had killed you or cut your penis off, but you could reattach your penis? Because that's what happened. Like the penis was reattached and it was fully functioning afterwards.
Shit, man.
It's called Lorena.
Yeah, there you go.
It's called
That's
Lorena.
it.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll watch that. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm right.
That's just like it's just so much pain, and you're just in pain for fucking ever. Like I would imagine after it gets reattached, like your shit's fucked up. Like it
was fine when it got.
Like, it wouldn't it be?
Nope. He like you can watch it. He had like he was able to get erect. He was able to do all the things men are able to do. It wasn't until he went on the Howard Stern show. They talked him into
they were like, show us.
No, they talked him into getting a penis enlargement. So he injected fat the same way that women inject fat
and girth.
For length and girth, and then it was fucked up forever, and he was never able to do anything else again after that.
That's why you just don't fucking do shit to your dick. Stop trying to stretch it. Stop trying to freaking do whatever. Stop fucking with your dick. Just insert it. That's all you need.
Bernie Cannon, on the previous episode of Glint Things, we established that a lady couldn't get pregnant falling on it. Now that
that's right.
Again,
and you can't get an STD if your dick touches the toilet bowl. So
I'm just saying, go watch it. It was amazing. And I want to know what all men think, because I feel like what you just said, like, I don't know, man, kill me or chop my penis off. I don't know
what's worse.
What's worse. And I need to know.
That makes my balls hurt, dude.
But it wasn't
sympathetic pain.
No, I'm not even. Yeah, I did it, and I don't even have a penis, but I felt bad for men. I just did. I was like, oh, that sucks, because she threw it out. She threw it out the window. So I just felt bad.
You're just the other, like, one, you're like, you think you're gonna die because you can bleed out from that, and then two, you're like,
it was close. A third of his blood volume. It was a third of his.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, fuck my dick. Fuck, I'm dead. Anyway.
Or you might as well kill me now, because there's no reason. I got nothing left.
That's right.
Nothing left.
This is it. It's it for me. My life is over, dude.
With that accent, because that's the accent he has. So you'll have fun watching.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Curious. It's not the size of the ship, but the motion of the ocean. I mean, he was good to go until he did the other thing. Judy Reed, how do we go from Jesus to Lorena Bobbitt? Girl, I'm sorry.
Diversity, man.
Welcome.
I
to
prayed
Quentin
for
Things.
forgiveness on the first episode
You
because I
did say you
knew
had to.
that
You
I
did
was going to
say
talk
that we
to
were gonna have
Caleb
to.
and it was going to be okay. Didn't know we were going to have a national tragedy happen with Trump being shot, but
True.
this ain't no ship curious. This is a tugboat. Well, he did say he felt a tug and a jerk and then it was gone.
No, he kept saying a pull and a jerk.
And a jerk. And
That's
then it was
literally everything that he said. I felt a pull
and a jerk.
And I was like,
And it was gone.
Oh God.
I was like, that's tough.
Oh.
Sorry, Caleb. Love
dude.
Some shit. No, he's happy because now he's got someone to watch.
Oh
Yeah,
dude.
well,
I'm bored
all
as shit
you-
down here.
First episode. That's it. All
That's
you
all
need
you
is the
need
first
is-
episode. After that, it's whatever. The first
So
episode,
funny.
Perfect.
dude.
So fucking funny. So
All right, guys. Elise Carradau. Was it 4 inches? Grateful for all 4 inches. Word. Thank you guys so much, Caleb. Appreciate you, dude. I
Thank you guys.
I wanted to make it your episode tonight. I feel like I kind of did, but
well, here on that note, final question for Mr. Beaver before we go. Kenneth DeLapp.
you know how amputees get phantom pain? You think he ever got phantom erections?
Shit, dude. That makes sense.
Is that possible?
That makes sense to me. You're like, damn, I'm hard as hell. And you're like, oh shit, I don't have a dick. That makes sense. That makes sense. That's science.
All right, my kid is in the room. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out all night long.
Thanks so much, Caleb.
Beaver, thank you so much. You're the best, dude. I really enjoyed every second of this. You're the greatest.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Great to meet you both.
Yes, you too. We'll talk again soon.
Glenn,
All right.
thanks.
Bye,
We
guys.
out.